By one, let's do it together. Let's be the change we want to see. Standing strong to any weather. Follow the light of the PEP. Cause we could build a better place for every creed and every race. Together we could triumph over anything we face. So one by one, two by two, the PEP, we're here for you. Bit by bit, one people under one flag. So come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. It's time for a change indeed. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP. Twin islands, let's move together. In unity, we can achieve. Right the wrongs, we do it together. Let's build a place where we could truly be. Moving together, hand in hand. One. One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, we go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote
Good
PEP.
evening, everybody. My name is Felicia Holder. I am the chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party. I am the head of finance, and I'm the shadow MP for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West. Yes, I wear multiple hats. But tonight, as we usually do in these public meetings, I'm speaking to you as the chairman. And I think we can all agree the reason why we are all here this evening is because things are not working. And we can also all agree that it's time that we change that. We're here today. Oh. Thank you. We're here, I'd actually prefer that way. But anyway, we're here today in Siparia, and this is actually my first time in Siparia, and I'm actually embarrassed to say that. It was my first time in Siparia, but I'm very happy to be here. We've been touring the country for the past 6 years, and I say touring because every time we have a political meeting in a constituency, we go, we set up, we meet the people, and I've been all over, and I know there's still many places that I have to be. But this evening I'm here in Siparia, and I'm very delighted and thankful for the warm welcome that we received when we came. For me personally, and I was talking earlier about the fact that we can all agree that things not working and it needs to change. We could touch on so many issues: crime, flooding, drought. For me, and this is not one I thought I would ever be speaking about, and I don't know how many or if we have any farmers in the audience, But as a first-time or new-time farmer, and I have to make a plug here for Pep Farms because we are proof of concept, and for those who would like to support the Progressive Empowerment Party, this is my plug. We have lettuce selling in the back for $10. This is how we raise funds. I heard that is a tongue price, and it's cheaper up here. But they're helping us build the party. They're helping us stay away from the contract mafia and the pocket cocaine dollars, and we're building this with clean money, lettuce money, and other ways. Of course, we have merchandise and membership if you would like to support. But I digress. As a first-time or new-time farmer, I have experienced for the second time in a month what perennial larceny feels like. As in, somebody broke into the farm and literally wiped out most of the lettuce that we had. And it hurt. It hurt because you know the amount of time that you spend, you know the amount of money that you invested, and you knew that at the end of that you want to take your produce to the market or to your customers and your clients and reap the benefits of your hard work. But that's not the case. You're actually out of your income and are in debt because you have to go and repurchase the things that he destroyed in his efforts to steal from you. And you're left wondering, who or where can I turn to? And like I say, it's a first-time experience. I never thought that I would have been a farmer. But this is just me doing this on a small scale within the confines of this party. I cannot imagine what it feels like for actual farmers, big-time farmers, who have to lose their produce due to the lack of proper policing, the lack of proper farming protocols and guidelines that says no random person can pull up at the side of the road and sell a truckload of lettuce without having a permit to say where he got the lettuce from. And these are the small little things that many might overlook, but if you're involved in it, and if this is your income, if this is how you feed your family, it's something important to you. And the fact that so many people are victims of this, the fact that governments come, governments go, police commissioners come, police commissioners go, community policing coming, what was I saying? Police, what's the word I'm looking for? Community policing go, the situation has not changed. And this, again, is just one issue amongst many issues that plague us as a society. The Progressive Empowerment talks about our water policy, which fixes the problem of flooding and drought at the same time. And the fact that we haven't had a government yet who could look at the flooding issues in Siparia and fix it for them means that these aren't really leaders, because we have countries around the world who figured out, countries that live below sea level, that have figured out how to keep water from flooding and destroying their communities. Flooding, water, perennial larceny, just some of the issues that bother us and plague us as Trinbagonians. We are here today as the Progressive Empowerment Party to present the solution, to be the solution. Last night we were in a meeting and a lot of the people were asking, how does the PEP go about evangelizing and converting more people? And we told them doing exactly what we were doing last night and what we're doing today. And we have to continue to do this hundreds, maybe even thousands of times between now and the next general election. And for those of you who may be wondering, are they a formidable party? Yes, we are. And I could tell you how we're a formidable party. I spent the last 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sitting down in police administrative building for hours at a time, trying to get the police approval for this meeting that we were having tonight. Because in order to have a public meeting, unfortunately, you have to get approval from the higher authorities. You have to get approval to hold a public political meeting, which we follow the procedures and we do. Except every time we do it, it gets harder and harder to get the approval. Our email might go missing. They may say they didn't get the attachment, to the point that I have to literally go in and sit down, squat, and make myself seen to get the permissions. And Lakshman Ramroop, he would know because he and I have been in constant communication. He's been the one coordinating this meeting, so he knows that we need to get that letter of approval. And I say in that, all of this to say that they are afraid of the Progressive Empowerment Party, and they are worried of how big we are getting, and they do know that meetings like these are making a tremendous amount of difference in the communities that we are touching down in. To the point that I was told on the way down to this meeting that we weren't even allowed to have the TASA and the music, to which I had to call Police Administrative Building on a Saturday, speaking to one of the sergeants who's telling me we're in a private venue, so they didn't actually give us permission to have a public meeting. But he didn't know I was smart, so I said, okay, so if we're in a private venue, tell me why we can't have TASA. Do you go to the homes of people who have birthday parties and stop them from having music and dancing? I said, and if we're not allowed to have the music, tell me what law we're breaking. So I need to know because we have to tell our lawyers on Monday. He said, Ms. Holder, I will get back to you. When I came here, the TASA was playing, so I guess that means we outsmart them this time, and we will continue to outsmart them because I'm seeing the tricks coming from a mile away. I'm seeing the people trying to hinder what the Progressive Empowerment Party is doing, but you can't stop something that has been ordained, and I believe this has been ordained because we would have never gotten this far if it wasn't. I want to wrap up tonight by saying we need your support. You're seeing what we're fighting. You're seeing how hard they're fighting us. We're having a public meeting in a month. I tell Lakshman I want the information to send the approval letters a month in advance because clearly 2 and 3 weeks is not enough. We will do whatever we have to do because this is not stopping. But to continue to do this, we need the support of the people. We need every one of you telling 10 people because those 10 people will go and tell 10 more people and the message will eventually spread. We have 2 years. We have given ourselves a clock, 18 months. We're now down to 17 to be election ready. So like I said, we're doing this hundreds, maybe even thousands of times. But we need you. We need you spreading the word. We need you supporting us. We need you buying our merchandise. We need you signing up for membership. We need you purchasing our letters. We need you at our fundraising events. We need you present at meetings. We need you stepping up and taking roles in your community. We need you taking backseat roles if you have to. But we need you. This is literally the time, this is the movement on which everybody needs to pile on and realize that the only way to fix Trinidad and Tobago is to do it together. I'm in a community that I've been in for the first time, but I still feel like home. This is Trinidad and Tobago. We're one country, one community. We're all in this together. I do not believe in racial divide. I do not believe in African and Indian. I literally only believe in Trinbagonian because there's nothing that I see across the two races that should divide us other than dirty politics. And it's time to put that dirty politics behind us. The PEP says one people under one flag, red, yellow, green, and everything in between. I need to polish up on my statements. But yeah, we're doing this together. And guys, thank you for your support. Do enjoy the rest of the evening. Don't forget to sign up. Don't forget to get your merchandise. And of course, keep following us as we take Trinidad and Tobago by storm. Thank you.
One people under one flag. It's time for change. It's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Good evening, Siparia. Good evening, Siparia. Give all yourselves a round of applause for making it today. I have to give myself this as well. You know, today, I didn't know until this morning that it was Siparia's Fete Day. I didn't even know that existed. I wish every day could be a Fete Day in Trinidad, you know, but with all these things that are going on, we have to be careful. We can't tell what the day brings us. But I'm happy to see so many people here today. As Mr. Khan said, I am Marissa Prasad, the Shadow MP for Oropouche East. I am hoping to be the MP, which my name stands for, Marissa Prasad, because it has a nice ring to it. And again, I give myself a round of applause for that. So, we're here this evening to share our messages. We're here this evening to share our concerns, our joys, and our sadness. Now, Siparia is a lovely place. I used to come here when I was smaller. My sisters, they have family here. They married into family here. And it's always welcoming into us. The last time, as Sheldon said, we came a couple of weeks ago for the fire, which was very tragic. And we're seeing a lot of those things happening right across Trinidad. We're seeing a lot of killings right across Trinidad. We're seeing a lot of hunger across Trinidad. Hunger meaning people don't have enough money to go to the grocery. The spike in food prices, the spike in gas prices is ridiculous. And as a mother, it's very hard. A single mother, I'm a widow. It's very hard to find that money every month to go to the grocery, to fill up my tank, to take off my car, to send my kids to school. My daughter is in UE. I have my own businesses. So it's pretty hard when we have a government and an opposition that not really doing anything for us. And it's vexing sometimes. So they call in today Fete Day in Siparia. But it doesn't feel like a fete day. The only time it will feel like a fete day is when we could walk the road and walk the streets all night with our purse in our hand, with our children right next to us and walk freely. That's when I will celebrate a fete day, not only in Siparia, but right through Trinidad. So today, in this lovely country, which I welcome my political leader, as well as the deputy political leader, and all our shadow MPs, as well as all the members of the Progressive Empowerment Party. I welcome you this evening, as well as all of you here, to enjoy, but also to listen to what we have to say. Listen to some solutions. Listen to new politics. It's a new party, and we bring in new politics. We don't want any curry favor. We don't want any regurgitated politicians telling us, hey, we could fix that, but put us in office. No, Ole was in office before. We fixing it even when we're not in office. So you can't say that you didn't get a chance. We, the people, fixing this now. A vote for PEP is a vote for ourselves. This time, we're voting for ourselves. If you're with me, give me a round of applause. We're voting for ourselves this time. I thank you this evening for giving me an air, and we will move to the next Shadow MP.
A better place for every creed and every race. Together we could triumph over anything we face.
Hello, everyone.
One by one, two by two.
My name is Akil Camps, and I am the Shadow MP for Diego Martin Northeast. So, very far from where I live in. But I enjoy the drive. And I mean, what's going on in this country affecting all of us, not just a few. Rich, middle class, poor, everybody being affected now. And those who think they're untouchable, well, I think they're seeing now that they're not that far from getting touched, right? So if you sit down in your home and you're watching this video, just happen to hear me speaking, the wolf is coming and it will reach your door. It will reach all our doors. If we don't do something now to change that. And that, I'm sorry, is the raw facts of what's going on in the country now. I don't have to try to convince all you about that. We're seeing it daily. In fact, for the last week, I decided I'm not really going to watch the news too much again because I doing my part for my country, standing up here now. 6 years ago, if you told me I would have been a politician, I'd laugh at you. I'd say, no way. But when I realized all these politicians I see and are watching Parliament and hearing the kind of beep talk going on in Parliament, and I'm like, all right, well, what is the crop we had to pull these politicians from? How that does work? And I sit down and study that for a while. How that works? How do we choose somebody to lead us in our constituency? Because our constitution say, well, when we vote for a representative for our constituency, right? We don't vote for a party. I need you all to understand that we don't vote a lie. We do vote for a party, but we had to change that. We had to stop voting for a party. We had to vote for our representative to do the job for us, to hear what we need, what giving us trouble, and to represent us in Parliament. Right now, if that representative gets in trouble in Parliament to get things done, we at that point have to step up and help our representative. And I'm saying that because of this. If you go to your representative, your MP for your area, and ask for assistance with something, and they give you the BS about, oh, we're not in government and they're stifling us for funds, I wouldn't tell you what to do them. But they put there for a reason. And if they have difficulties getting things done for us who voted for you, then they're doing something wrong, right? If they're not coming to you and asking you for your support, because they have times your MP will need your support. For instance, the same example, they say, oh, we're not getting funding, we're not getting this. All you tell them, listen, we come in with you in front of Parliament. And let's hear the Prime Minister say they're not giving you something. If 30,000, average 30,000 people from this constituency go and stand up with Kamala by Parliament, you don't think things will get done? You don't think things will get done? And this is what we have to change in our country. We have to stop sitting down behind a phone or a computer and say, oh God, look what's going on. We can't do nothing more. Why the police ain't doing this? Why the MP ain't doing this? Why the councillor ain't doing this? No, we beyond that. We beyond that. We have to realize, no, we have to come out and stand up now. We have to come out and support. If your MP say he need help, go and help him. Right? I talking about your present MP now. If your MP say, look, we need help, go and help your MP. That's the only way we'll get things done. Right? But the next election coming, and we here to give you another option. Right? We here to give you a better option because, I mean, the length of time, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Right? And these old dogs, I think it's time for them to retire and run in the field. Right? We need new people in government. And I here, and you there. But you, as an ordinary person, because I was an ordinary person too. It's only now I'm heading into a different bracket, but I was just like you. And if you feel the need and you get the inspiration to come and stand up for your country, I didn't tell you come and stand up for me or Philip, you know. Come and stand up for your country. We are just a vessel. We are the bus. Right? Come and join the bus and help us change the country. Because we're not going down a good road. And if we continue the direction we head in, every man jack will feel it. Don't wait till the wolf reach your door to say you shoulda, woulda, coulda, and you didn't do it. Thank you.
One people under one flag. It's time for change. It's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
My name is Satish Ramsaran. I am the National Party Organizer for the PEP. I would like to thank every one of you all who take the time and sacrifice and come out here this evening. My job in the PEP is to organize the party on the ground. We have 41 shadow MPs to get for all 41 constituencies. Right now, I'm proud to say we are at 17 and we're growing. Everyone, no matter if you're here, you're in the audience, or you're watching this on television, on Facebook, on social media, you all know that this country is in a mess. We need to fix it. We need change. PNM, UNC, it doesn't matter. People think that the UNC people think that the fight is the PNM, and the PNM think that the fight is the UNC. That's not the fight. The fight is the evil in the country. The fight is the corruption. The fight is the no accountability. And it is our job. I like to say that all the bad people in this country are together in the groups, taking advantage of everybody. But the good people in this country, they are in little silos, and we are outnumbered. We have to get the good people in this country together to actually start fighting all the madness in this country. And that's where I see the PEP is. I mean, we're not angels, we're not perfect, but we see that this country, if we just leave it alone, we're gonna end up one day as Venezuela, Haiti maybe. There's no future for our children, there's no future for us. The country is in a mess. Yeah? So I'd like to invite everybody here who hasn't joined the party. We have membership. Please come on board, start to help out. We're building an army of good people to take back this country and for a better future. Yeah? I like to keep my speeches short and sweet, just like myself. So everybody, thank you for coming out. I'd like to introduce you to Renison, our shadow MP for Labre. So Renison Jeffrey.
One people under one flag. It's time for change, it's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it, we go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it, because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Good evening today to Siparia. Good afternoon. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and I am the shadow MP for Labre. Yes, and which is, let me start out why we come here. On the 2nd of April, there was a house fire here. With Kimba Morris and Zaya Morris would have perished in a house fire. We paying for our service in Trinidad and Tobago, and we not getting we money's worth. And when I'm saying we paying for our service, we paying the Prime Minister and we paying the opposition. And these two parties would have ruled for, let's say, 50 years plus. And we're not getting the results that we're looking for here in Trinidad. And we cannot continue doing the same thing over and over and over again. I know some of the people here who supposed to come, we supposed to follow Maxi to come here, But you know why some of the people didn't come here? Because of the fear victimization. That is why they didn't fall in here. So when I hear Khan say that it's supposed to have more people, here, some of them listening, but in safety. Because if a PNM operative pass here and see some of them here, they ain't get no 10 days. And if a UNC operative pass here, somehow you cannot work in the corporation in the morning. Or you know what I'm saying? If I lie, tell me I lie. Because some of the people here, or you know what I'm talking about, have to sleep with some of them to get work. And if you have to choose to mind your family, some of you saying here we're going on, better me come. When it's time to vote, we go vote all in. And that is what's taking place here. That is the real reality on the ground. This is not a joke. When I come here from quite Labre, I didn't come here for no joke thing. I come here to support a party that I see that could bring Trinidad and Tobago to the pinnacle that everybody could have something and could survive and should have no fear of victimization. That is the reason why I come here. People, the next time I come to Siparia, I want to see people all in the road. Because there is strength in numbers. If we learn that from Martin Luther King, and some of you learn and see that, try Mahatma Gandhi. Try the Vietnamese when they say, yeah, what's going on? The Americans and them go come in, they'll kill many of us. And we go kill some of them. But they will tire and they will go. If we as a people in stand up now and take the responsibility to set things right, the politicians didn't do it 50 years past. Or you ain't seeing that, or 50 years past and they didn't do it right. We have to do it. It's not about this thing we stay inside now and we peep from through windows. That's not good enough. We need to come out here and support a movement like this, that change could come about. And as a people, come on, the close down petrol train, who do that? They want to privatize Wassa, who do that? They want to close down PTSC and contract it out, who doing that? It's not just the PNM doing it. The opposition giving them the privilege to do it, where they're supposed to be coming and dealing with the people, boy. Why we ain't seeing that? And somehow it's not good enough for it to just sit at home and say, my thing. But if all of us come out here, if all of us come out here and do something, change go come about. And there was a saying that would have said that this: I am not a socialist. And when they come and they take the socialists, I didn't stand up because I was not socialist. I was not communist. So when they come for the communists, I didn't stand up. And it break down till it come to me. When they come for me, they take me. Because I didn't stand up when I was a communist. I didn't stand up when I was somebody on the left. And when it's my chance to come, because it takes so much of the people, there was nobody to stand up for me. So we must stop being selfish and stand up for one another. That is the only song we can. We had to forget the racial divide where they push on us. I went to school with all. And sometimes when I ain't have no food, you understand, not only people from the other races would have said, nah boy, this boy would have given me a snack or some kind of thing. So we doesn't know racism until election time come. And that is the deadliest time. My neighbor is an Indian. If I'm hungry, no. Look, the other day she called me, she said my back door open. If you see somebody drunk in, it's so deplorable. You see somebody drunk in, you ain't asking, hey, here's a PNM, here's a UNC, you doesn't ask that. Why the politician pushing that down the throat? Some of these things, we had to tell them, politicians and them, hey, you're talking nonsense when they come with that. And we must have the belly to do so. All the shadow MPs here. Before I would have come in the party, I would have seen a lot of them on social media. And they was doing just what I'm talking about. They was the few that was standing up and actually saying something about it. They are the few that actually stand up and say, nah, this is stupidness. Regardless of what race I is or what party I support, they stupidness. And I decide to talk out and say something about it. All of them did. All. My partner did with the glasses. I do a video of him and he himself know who it was. And when I see him, I say, boy, who is this fella here? People at Siparia, it's not just the fire service that is deplorable. It's plenty of the other ministries. And I could talk from experience because, you know, we have a trade union and we just represent people on a daily basis. And plenty of them sell out. Or you know what I'm talking about? Plenty of them sell out. So the people is left disenfranchised with what is taking place in Trinidad. One party doing stupidness, the next one blaming the next one. And that is where, look, you do that. Look, you do that. And the people are caught between. Look, two people are there. You feel if Rowley place catch on fire. No. The amount of fire truck that they will find to send up there, it will be unimaginable. If even if an MP in the opposition house catch on fire, the kind of service that them go get, or you deserve the same service too. I deserve the same service. And this is where we stand here in the gap, that the PDP is going to make that difference. That is the promise I come in this party too, that united in representation, steadfast in purpose, and bounded by truth. I ain't come here for no other reason. That's what I come here for. And I want all our here to join this. If you ain't sign up, or you go and sign up. Let we get this thing out. We supposed to be marching from Point to Port of Spain every single day until this government change. And we don't hear that about no PNM and UNC. The next party that's supposed to be running Trinidad and Tobago is the PDP. People, I don't want to take up too much of time again and wait for other people that I had to talk to. So I would like to end this, there's my camaraderie. I tell them come up with me because I don't take up too much of the time already. But there's my partner here. We just go and sign up people and thing with the union. So, I bring him here for strength because it's not me alone. It's not I alone. When I'm talking here, I just the person in front, but all our here have to back me up. All our here have to stand up with me. When we say we're going and shut down and block the road because oil ain't getting water, all our here have to come out and stand up with me. The fight is not we own. The fight is all that we own. All of us. So people, unity is power. Unity is power. So everybody, I would like to tell you have a good evening and stay, and if you ain't sign up, go and sign up. Let me get this thing on. All right.
One people under one flag. It's time for change. It's time we vote for PDP. One people under one people under one flag. It's time for change. It's time we vote for PDP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build it. We go fix it. We go fix it because we vote in PEP.
So let me fix it.
Vote PEP.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Serato DJ Pro.
So I am your shadow MP for Siparia. For those who don't know me, my name is John Solomon. And you may ask, why should I support John Solomon from Siparia? I could give you 21 reasons why. 21 reasons why you should support me. But I will only give you 3. The rest is just as important as these 3. first world healthcare, higher education and skills training, and food independence. The last time we get flood, tomatoes reached $25 a pound. Look at the price of a chicken today. It's sad and nobody business. So I just gave you 21 reasons why you should support me as your next MP for the Siparia constituency. You know, this afternoon I will not talk about issues plaguing Trinidad and Tobago. We keep hearing them over and over and over, and it's starting to become just like yesterday's news and regular gossip. And the PEP is about more than that. The PEP is about good governance, accountability. It's about giving your children a chance under the PEP. When your child leaves school after Form 5, what is the opportunities available for them? When they go to apply for a job, what is your experience? That's the first thing again. So when they can't get a job, they've been encouraged to turn to the next thing it have, which is a life of crime. It's real sad. You know, I am a third generation oil field employee. My grandfather was one of those that used to build standing derricks in the field for drilling. And my father worked in the oil field as well, my uncles included. And today, I and my brother are also oil field employees. It is very sad to see that the oil field has dwindled from 228,000 barrels of oil per day to just 54,000 barrels per day. That's where we reach. And you know why we reach there? Because of mismanagement. And persons who only see in their back pocket and not the future of Trinidad and Tobago. Siparia was a bustling place when I was a little fella. We had a market that was booming. We had an estate called the Kura Quarry Estate for people who know that about Siparia. Today, that's only a memory in some people's mind. You know what? We have 550 acres of prime agricultural land sitting there, and they're not giving it out for farming. And we like it so because we're not standing for anything. And as Renaissance said, we're supposed to march from Point Fortin to Port of Spain. Recently, we went to the Siparia market and we highlighted some issues. We also went, together with the political leader, to the penal market. And we highlighted some issues there. We only ever here in our market, you just have stray dogs in the meat section. Beef, pork, goat, stray dogs in the market. And that nice. You know what? The MP office directly across the road from the market. But we have some news for them tonight. We sent them emails. They didn't respond. We know. We tracked the emails. We saw that they saw it. We sent it again. And they have until Friday to respond. And then it will be a different course of action. We standing for those who cannot stand for themselves. The PEP will stand for those who cannot stand for themselves. Because nobody is standing for them. We recently went in the Barakpur area. Saw a gentleman living there. Since September last year, his house moved 10 feet. You know what Rodney Charles do? I go write a letter for you, and I will drop it for whoever had to see about it. And that was the last day he see the great Rodney Charles. You think under a PEP government, we will see that? Some of you might be looking for a walk, because I'm sure Philip had taken that. Under a PEP government, there will be recall. So when you don't do your job, you will be fired. The other two parties only talking reform. That's a place in Trinidad, That's a place in Trinidad, them not reforming nothing. Because they mightn't have a job when they call reform. In Rock Road, between Christmas and now, there were 15 robberies. I'm talking about robberies with arms and cutlass. They planasing old ladies and robbing them. Nobody came to the rescue but the PEP. We met with those residents, we brought the police together, and the ringleader was arrested. He's now serving 4 years. The other parties, nowhere to be found. They left the area. The PEP is making inroads in constituencies where people say, we don't have a chance. But you know what? It's sad for them because people opening their eyes. People starting to think for themselves. And they're seeing that the only political party that could carry them anywhere and preserve a future for them and their kids is the PEP. I also went to another community in Siparia constituency and met with some residents there. They're having a flooding issue. They were told, all you have to live with that, there's nothing we could do about it. Sitting with these residents in 10 minutes, we all came up with a solution to the problem. That is how the PEP does go along. We think quick. We look around, we find solutions. Our esteemed political leader says that he's a lion. And he ain't leading no banner sheep. He leading a banner lions. I sign on for this. And I will continue to fight for this. And nothing they put in front of me will stop me. The constituency of Siparia have a lot of young, bright people. And they are being sidelined by nonsense. They're being sidelined by race. And my mother and father was a PNM. And my father is a UNC. So I will vote there. But it's good that we've seen some of them opening their eyes. And we are hoping that the message would go from one to the next. And we could do this if we change one person's mind on a daily basis. Just one person every day. The PEP could become the next government at Trinidad and Tobago. Come 2025. So tonight, I thank you all for the opportunity to address you all. And I look forward for more persons of Siparia coming to join us on this fight. It's not an easy one. And we need all hands on deck to fight this fight. Thank you.
Trinidad need waking up. Jaja giving them a shaking up. This country need waking up. When I see the earth start waking up. Trinidad need waking up. Jaja giving we a shaking up. This country need waking up. When I see the earth start waking up. Human. Innocent people are die from gunshot. Fi standing by the corner. Man could marry to man, yes, and them now legalize marijuana. I wonder if you know what you're doing. Opposition and the leader, from the decisions that they make, I could tell them now no Rastafari leader. We need waking up. Jaja giving them a shaking up. This country need waking up. And I see the earth start waking.
You're going to get tired, clap. Give yourself a round of applause. You'll get tired, clap. I am always amazed at the Progressive Empowerment Party and its diverse and massive team. But today, I sat on different chairs and I looked and I observed and I watched this team. And I want to tell you, I couldn't be more proud. Your shirt saying Philip will fix it, huh? And it's only still saying Philip will fix it because and I'm going to talk about politics tonight, and I'm going to say some things that are going to rub some people wrong. But politics in Trinidad is leader-driven. So I have to be the leader, and I have to promote that, and I have to fight the other leaders. Your shirt says Philip will fix it. I'm coming back to this thing about the politics. But I want to tell you something. Lachman, Satish, Felicia, Shobi, Pat, Teresa, Derek. I mean, every one of you, every single member of the Progressive Empowerment Party that becomes, and you know when somebody becomes a member, you hear the click when they fit. You know that this person is not here to stunt, to self-promote, to look for an end, to look for a man or a woman. They're here to be a part of the growing army of change that the Progressive Empowerment Party represents. And I want to say, I'm a wordsmith. I don't have the words. I want to tell you, we are unfunded. When I tell people we are unfunded, I mean, we don't have the road contractors and the overnight contractors today in cloth, brand, panty, tomorrow you're building HDC house and school. We don't have them dropping $30 million in US in flour bag and saying, share that out, and when the election's done, we don't have that. You watching Pat and Teresa and the team selling popcorn, selling jersey. We are literally funded, and I want to again, and I would like a round of applause for the foreign-based Trinbagonians that have never let the pep down. The foreign-based Trinbagonians, and I want to highlight Denise Xavier and Anthony Sinanan for their tireless, timeless service all through the years. You'll get tired, clap. I looked at the team because when it's time, remind me, I had to come back to the politics of leadership, because I have to touch on ego and self-promotion. I have to touch on those things. I want you all to remind me. But when I look at the lineup of people who spoke today, before a meeting, it falls to me. I am the general. It is my job. It is not I am claiming it for myself. It is my responsibility to let each and every member of the party as leader know this is the focus today. That's the job of a leader. That's the role. If you can't do that, don't lead. But don't think that it's easy. I'll tell you some of the things in a Trinidad where Renaissance and Felicia had to touch on race. In a Trinidad where the politics of race is the only thing that keeps the PNM and the UNC alive. Without race voting, the PNM would have been dead 50 years ago. The PNM brings nothing to the table but theft. The PNM brings banditry, 1% corruption, contract mafia. The PNM facilitated the use of Trinidad and Tobago as a narcotics hub to the world. So when Keith Rowley talking and organizing crime symposiums, sit your ass down. The PNM responsible for every gun in the country, Trinidad and Tobago tonight. And every murder that takes place in Trinidad and Tobago, the PNM responsible for that. Because every murder required illegal guns that came through customs that have not had a manpower change since 1962. Commissioners, plural, Griffith, Williams, who's the next one? All admitted. All admitted. Who was the one that followed Griffith that looked like Williams? What's his name again? Jacobs. All of them admit. All of them admit. Farmers. Me, Satish, Marissa, a couple others. That gentleman that don't sit down, he was there too, walking around. You say, no. And they told us that when it floods, it destroys their crops. Felicia brought lettuce for you to see. Produce, proof of concept, pep farms, another thing we do. That lettuce is proof of concept because we wanted to understand what the farmers feel. We wanted to see it for ourselves. So we grow food. It's also a proof of concept of a progressive empowerment party policy, food independence. We wrote those 21 policies in 2017. They were finalized. And if all those policies were law before 2020, Trinidad would have sailed through COVID-19 without a problem. Food independence is now global national security. 70%, if not more, of our food is imported. And while that sounds like a nothing issue, I want you to understand this. And I want you to hear this clear. Because this is important. At any given time, besides our local farmers and their produce, the supermarket trade, all of the import companies, all of them, all of the Massey's and the Amcos and the Hadcos, all of them together only have about 4 weeks worth of food. After that, the shelves would be empty. There is 4 weeks worth of food on the shelf. There's 4 weeks worth of food in the warehouse. There's 4 weeks worth of food on the ship. And if anything interrupt any of those, you will see empty shelves in the grocery. And it is that day Trinidadians will realize how important the farmer is. Because we will starve to death. When all you talk about we go be like Venezuela. Venezuela was a first world country when they collapsed, you know. And they have things still. Trinidad have nothing. We will quickly run out of lap, manicu. Where John Solomon trying to bring pig for me. What kind of pig? Quank, boar, all them things. Watch. Well, before we reach dog, all the wild meat done. All the scarlet ibis, all are done. Pigeon. You're going to see pigeon again, eating all. Dog, rat. When you see Kobo in danger, watch me. All you laughing? When Kobo in danger, watch now. I not seeing no Kobo these days in the sky, and I don't mean they eat out all, you know. It means the Kobos get together and say, you see this country? Kobo ain't safe in Trinidad no more. All Kobo gone Barbados. But we laughing. But imagine if you wake up and on social media is picture after picture of empty shelves in groceries, of lines, of closed doors with security guards telling you nothing, nobody else, none. That could be a quick reality. The only solution is, thank you, but beyond that, grow our food. There are 90,000 acres of farmland in this country that could feed 2.5 million people. That's the numbers. An acre could feed 25 people. We have 30,000 farmers waiting for land. While you getting yourself together in your make-believe political party that form a government to facilitate the contract mafia that thieving out the treasury, use the power of your office and give the farmers access to the land and let them grow the food that we need to eat, so that if Hadco, Amco, and Massey run out of business for any reason, we don't have to eat rat and dog. Empower the farmers. Food independence is mission critical. And when the farmers in Suchet Trace told us that the reason they lose their crops every year is because the, what's it, Golino River hasn't been dredged and desilted since 1962. Now, if that is not a deliberate assault on our farmers to empower your 1% food importers, I don't know what is. So I said to the farmers, in my cocky and arrogant way, Marissa has your number. Satish is here with me. We're going back to the office, and we are going to get in touch with people who have the machinery to dredge and desilt rivers, and we are going to come and do it for you. So you are going to see a video at Lachman Ramrup watching me, right? Because Lachman know, ain't nobody make a promise like that. Lachman know he done how to start go looking for excavator. He know it falling on him, you know. But at some point you will see a video of me on heavy machinery taking the sandbar out from in front of it that is preventing the river water from flowing, removing the logs that jam up below the 4 bridges. I find out all that is wrong with Suchet Trace and their farmers in 1/2 hour meeting today. And you trying to tell me this is what passing for government in this country? That nobody cares? Not one of those members of parliament in the parliament gives a damn that the Suchet Trace farmers bending their back in hot sun and growing food that rain could fall and wipe out because you ain't dredge a river, and Rohan Senanan just say he spent billions dredging. Where you dredge? What was dredged? Trinidad and Tobago needs a commissioner of police that is willing to investigate Rohan Sinanan on now Dredgegate. And if you find that he lied, to lock him up, to arrest and charge him. And if you do that, all them bandits on the ground will put down the gun. All the crime done. If Trinidadians see police outside customs, if Trinidadians see police in yacht club, police on the docks, if Trinidadians see police everywhere that guns could come in Trinidad and Tobago, if they say the majority coming through the legitimate ports of call, deploy the police there. Catch them in the act. Stop the flow of guns. Take the guns off the street. We don't need rocket science. We didn't need Mia Motley and Ralph Gonzalez for a photo op to know that. Every single Trinbagonian from the top to the bottom know that our country is a criminal enterprise. Trinidad is a crime scene. Keith Rowley is a crime lord. Mr. Man, if you don't know the job of Prime Minister, step off. The well-being of all the citizens of the country is your responsibility. And if you can't do that job, fire your blasted self. Here are the issues that the Progressive Empowerment Party touched on today. The team invites the media every time. Where's Newsday? Where's Express? Where's Guardian? Where's CNC3? Where's TV6? Where them? Taking government advertising to talk nonsense to the people. But the Progressive Empowerment Party is in it to fix it. Under a Progressive Empowerment Party government, the 90,000 acres of available fertile farmland will be made available to the 30,000 registered farmers. Under a Progressive Empowerment Party government, farmers will be registered and made tax-free for purchases. Under a Progressive Empowerment Party, all chemicals required for growing food will be tax-free. It goes further. Under Progressive Empowerment Party government, all farmers will be registered and given licenses and numbers. And those licenses and numbers will be issued to receipt books. So when they sell their produce like we do for liquor, like we do for cigarettes, let's protect the nation's food. Let the farmers be able to issue a license. So if you see a man with 3 crocus bag of mango and he don't have a license for where he get a mango, lock him up. Let that word spread. No more pumpkin thief, no more lettuce thief, no more plantain thief, no more avocado thief. Only remember how we terrorized that poor farmer who get frustrated and tell people, don't buy no avocado because the thief is and he inject poison in them. Remember that? And police wanted to go for the farmer. The Predial Larceny Squad in Trinidad and Tobago is the second largest precepted organization in Trinidad. You all knew that? You ever see with your own 2 eyes a Predial Larceny officer? They are the second largest precepted organization in this country. Official. I'm not talking about 1% owned security firms. They're undercover. But listen to the amount of things the Progressive Empowerment Party touched on today. Last night, they invited me to a meeting, and I said, you know what? I'm going to dance for you. I'm going to tell you what we know. I'm going to tell you what we plan to fix. And I spoke for about an hour. Somebody told me after I made notes, I'm going to Google everything you say. I'm going to check. Because we make it so simple for people to understand. When I tell them the 4% you pay the police was an insult to the police and you need the police to work above and beyond the call of duty, Police is not an 8 to 4 job. You need police to go home thinking about that case. You need police waking up in the morning, brushing his teeth, and he getting ready, and he know. You need police working extra duty, long hours, to solve the problems and protect the citizens. And they went through COVID-19, and there was nothing to protect them. No hazmat, no gear, nothing. You get them a flicking $1 mask and tell them go outside there and secure. When we didn't know if everybody was going to drop dead from COVID. And they did the job. And you get them 4%. When you say 4%, people say, but Philip, what is 4%? To the average police officer, that was a negotiation that was overdue for almost 10 years, some 13 years. And the price of gas, I raised the price of gas. I raised it again. I might raise it again. They don't riot yet. I remember that stunting. Tune into the live video for the uncut version. But those police officers have families, they have lives, they have children to drop to school and wives to take to the grocery, and people happy to take video. You see, I know I am a Christian, and I know that there have been priests who molest children, but all priests don't molest children. And I know that there are bad police in Trinidad and Tobago, but that don't mean all police bad. And we have to stop that narrative. Because when people come on my thread and tell me, what you want to help police for? Them doing this, they do that. I say, no problem. But when the wolf reach your door, call the bandit society. Don't call the same police that you're about talking now. And I'm not saying this to curry favor with police. I'm saying that you cannot insult the important people, the farmers, the teachers, the police, the technicians, the people that keep the lights on and keep the water flowing. Those are the important people in our society. Derek, it's a little too loud. Those are the important people in our society. And if you can't treat them with respect and courtesy, how do you expect to properly run the country? How? To the average police officer from SRP to constable, you gave them a raise of $300 a month. The last time they got a salary adjustment, the price of a bread was $6. The price of a doubles was $2. Now a doubles is $6 and a bread is $12 and $14. These are people that have families. These are people that have responsibilities. When they take off the uniform and the daughter gets sick, or the son, or the mother, and I'm telling you because I just had to deal with a mother who had a stroke 2 weeks ago, and we had to go to the hospital and find money, because unless you're going in the general hospital and put your trust and faith in God and every other God they have, if you had to go private, and if you love your family, you know that if you had to take all the money you have for the grocery and take them to a private doctor because this is somebody that you love. These people are people too. And the government needs to understand giving them a $300 a month increase after all that is an insult of epic proportions. But what is worse, this country has done workers an injustice, from the sanitation workers to police to nurses. There are people in this society whose contracts say that they cannot protest at all. So they can't even let you know that they're suffering. They can't let you know. And that is why I speak for them. And when I say that 4% was an insult, you could have given 10%. A PNM talking head asked me where I getting that money from. I went to the Red House. I said, the $500 million, all your teeth here, could have given every police officer in this country $1,000 a month for the next 10 years. The $500 million your teeth at Napa, and next $1,000 a month for every police officer for 10 years. The $500 million your teeth at Sapa, and next $1,000 a month for police. Every police officer every month for 10 years. That's 3,000 I reach here. You know how hard police would have been working? If you had that respect, you know what the two Oompa Loompas, Senanan and Imber, doing in Westmoreland? that 1% tanty flyover that nobody know what the hell it for. Nobody. I blame people. I blame the people who living in Hollywood villas that they, whatever they call Victoria, whatever, that was built with HDC money for poor people of color who couldn't get it because it come out too nice. That is Trinidad and Tobago. This stinking dirty place. We've destroyed society. We've destroyed community. We've destroyed this country by cheap, corrosive, divisive, tribal, racist politics. And that has to change. And as Felicia Holder tried to say, black, white, red, green, and every shade in between, one people under one flag is the only way forward for us. It's the only way. The only way. When I come to meet with people, when they bring me, when they took me last night to Gulf View, they took me the night before to Fairways, when she took me today to Suchitrace, and I look at people, I have the responsibility. I have a bottle. Thanks. I have a responsibility to make sure that they get what we dare to say. I understand your distrust of politicians. I am now a blasted politician and I don't trust politicians. I don't trust them. Thank you. My mother went in for surgery Thursday. But they had made plans for me for Thursday, for Friday. And she came out of ICU Friday. And she came out of hospital today. But they made plans for me today. They had such a trace plan and they had this plan. And there's a plan for a public meeting, a Progressive Empowerment Party meeting in Aranguez tomorrow at 2 o'clock to answer the nonsense that Fitzgerald Hines spoke last week Sunday in the same place to the same people. We're coming to give them representation. This morning, my niece tell me on the phone, not this morning, yesterday when I was driving San Fernando, and that traffic was ridiculous. And I'm on the overpass. I'm seeing the sky and all the land. And my niece, who's a doctor, she called and she say that your mother say her family abandoned her in the hospital. And I felt to get out of the car and walk back because I'm stuck in traffic. And I know how she must be feeling. But that's the conundrum of being a politician who says that when I give my word, I keep my word. I have attended all of the meetings and I will attend tomorrow, but I promised my mother after that, I'll come and rub her hand and rub her foot. I said, trust me, I'll make it up to you. But this is who we have to be. Because the people of Trinidad and Tobago have dealt with political charlatans of every creed and race for 62 years, from Eric Williams to Rowley, and every shade in between. It has been criminality, corruption, racism, nonsense. This is a country. If I told you that I am going to live in the Arctic and I am going to sell snow there, you'd laugh at me. If I told you that I was going to live in the Sahara and I was going to manufacture sand, you'd say I'm a fool. But I live in a country where politicians was able to sell to a country that is drowned by rain every year a desalination plant. We have more water fall on this country than we could ever use every single. We have never had a drought. And we spend $500 million every year desalinating seawater. You know what you could do with that $500 million? You could give hardworking police $1,000 a month for the next 10 years. The Progressive Empowerment Party's policy for water is simple. It's a no-brainer. Even Keith Rowley and Kamla could understand. Capture, hold, treat, distribute. Catch the water. Just catch it. Rainfall in Trinidad during the dry season and cause flood. That's how much rain this fall. You trying to tell me they don't have one mechanic in the PNM and the UNC that capable of watching. You see the people who cut that track in the sand to let the water out? You all saw that video? Put them in government. They understand how water works. They understood. I want to say to you, and I'm loving that song. Don't think that's a distraction to me. I loving watching all the children here. Today I read a story again about Akil Chambers. Some of you all may not know that I got into politics a very circuitous route. I started off as an activist in 1993. We formed an organization called the Jericho Project. By 1994, every year we had something called the Akil Chambers Justice for Children March. And in 3 years, we had 50,000 people in the street every single year, frightened the crap out of Glenn Ramadas Singh, sent him to the parliament to proclaim the Children's Authority Act. It became law. It was languishing for 12 years. Yeah? That's what we are capable of doing as a people. We are capable of fixing anything. When Redison tell you, make sure that you stand up when the rest of us stand up. That is the plan. That is the mission. When they tell you that you don't stand because that person don't look like you, or you don't come from that community or that area, you're fooling yourself, because a day will come when that same wolf will find you. And who will be there to stand for you? Who will be there? Every single citizen of the great Republic of Trinidad and Tobago should be a millionaire today. We had and spent over $3 trillion. That is $3,000 billion. Exactly. Exactly. And I want to say, it's so hard to believe sometimes when all you've known is betrayal. We've had political betrayal for all of our lives. All of our lives. There's nobody, I do not know of a single citizen of this country that could say that their member of parliament represents them. Nobody. That will never go away. The Progressive Empowerment Party is going to change that. We are going to give you a government that serves you. We are going to fix all of it. We're going to fix it. We know what is important. We know jobs important. Everybody who wants a job should be able to get a good paying job and should be able to improve themselves. There should be adult education facilities in this country that you could be a security guard today or packing boxes for KFC, and that is okay because you could get night classes and make yourself into an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor. You could become anything you want to be. Trinidadians thrive wherever they go in the world. The only place where Trinidadians don't do well, surprisingly, is Trinidad, because this country is not set up to take care of people. And why? Because we've been betrayed by politicians for 62 years. And it is up to us to say to ourselves, regardless of how many times we've had promises broken, it is time to believe that politics doesn't have to be criminality, that there is possibly politicians among us who will keep their word, who will do the job, who will fix what needs fixing, lower the price of food, make it possible for the average person to own a home. Our home ownership policy, 0 interest, 0 deposit for up to 30 years, for up to $1.5 million. You know what that means? Do you know what the installment on a $1 million house would be? 0 deposit, 0 interest for 30 years? $500. That means even minimum wage earners could own their own home. The science, all of these monkey mechanics that talking politics and talking crime symposium, I want them to understand. They could Google it. The science is clear. Where you give people the opportunity to own their home and take care of their families, the family unit stays strong. The community stays strong. Crime is low. Education is high. People prosper. Patriotism soars. That is what we want. Home ownership is the most important thing in this country. And right now there are people who work in the mortgage department of the bank that can't afford to own a home because of the mad charges. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the only party that talks about the fees that the banks charge. And people telling us, well, they have a cost of doing business. Yes, but it doesn't have to come at the price of our dignity and our survival. Banks are making billions of dollars a year profit in this country, charging us unnecessary fees and $20 to print a paper on our own statement. That is unacceptable. The Progressive Empowerment Party will present to the Parliament financial service regulations that rolls back all this on my money and you lend it out for 15% interest. You keep the difference. That's how it's supposed to work. Now they're paying you no interest on your money and your resting balance is depleted from fees. That is criminal behavior. And we need to fix that. And the PNM is not fixing it and the UNC is not fixing it. So you have to take a chance. You have to take a chance. You have to break in your mind the idea that race politics will ever work. It never did. It never will. Barack Obama said, building your politics on race is an absence of intelligence designed to fail. Trinidad and Tobago. Look at living example, Barack. We had more money than Norway. Norway have a stabilization fund that is so rich. There's $250,000 US set aside for every Norwegian citizen on retirement. We lucky if the National Insurance Board is there to give us the stupid $3,000 when we come of age. NIB raise the retirement from 60 to 65 and have old people running around like fools for 19 different documents to prove that they are alive. Come on, look my identification card. It show you my age. Pay me my money. Do you know that there are homeless people in this country that cannot collect their national insurance and that's why they're homeless? And we pretend that we care. We talk, we shame them, we name them, we blame them. If they had went to school, if you went to school in a country where even education corrupt, where half the schools in the country are failed schools deliberately to create a working underclass that will take slave wages to survive. That is deliberate impoverishing of the people. They are doing that by plan. We could fix that. The Progressive Empowerment Party's education policy abolishes the SEA, zones all schools, gives all children a grade point average. You go to school where you live. All of a sudden, all the parents will join the PTA to make sure that their school functioning. The Progressive Empowerment Party will repeal the Municipal Corporation Act, the Regional Health Authority Act, how the police service is set up, and create in the place of all of that a constituency board of supervisors, a supervisor of public works, public utilities, healthcare, education, and security, so your constituency could run properly. So you know who to call. And if your child's school is not functioning properly, go to the supervisor of education in your constituency. See how easy that sounds? for the same money we pay in all of these basket cases to fool and pretend that they're delivering goods and services. They're not. Nothing works in Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing. I could stand up here and talk to you for 3 days. I could talk about all the ways that it's wrong and all the ways to fix it, and not one single person could contradict me. And that is a shame. That is a shame that our country is this bad, because it is a handful of people masquerading as leaders in public office looting your treasury. And that should not be acceptable to you. I could tell you it is not acceptable to me. And that is why I am in politics. We are in politics to fix that. And I know by now you're tired of hearing my voice and I'm running out of voice. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this in closing. We have a responsibility to ourselves. That is the first law of survival. We then have a responsibility to our children. We have a responsibility to our parents. We have a responsibility to our family, our siblings, to our neighbors, to our community, to our country. That's the responsibilities of a citizen. The citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago have been denied the ability to be responsible for all of those things by a country that has us distracted by racist nonsense fighting for scraps on the ground. That has to change. The only way you are going to break a contract mafia that is enjoying eating $30 billion a year is to vote for an army of lions led by a lion. The only way to fix it is for 1.4 million of us to stand together. Stand where you are. We don't have to cuss, we don't have to scream, we don't have to sing, we don't have to pelt nothing, we don't have to burn nothing, we don't have to break nothing. Just stand together. Just stand with us. When we say we're meeting, come out in your tens of thousands and stand with us. Send them back in their headquarters to talk to one another. What are we going to do, boy? How are we going to stop that? There's only one solution. Do the blasted job we send you there to do, or fire yourself. The Progressive Empowerment Party is in it to win it. Stand with us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, ooh. Belly. If you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, one nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the black? Who feel the white? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's set till tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Who feel the right? Come and go. And all who feel the too bright. Let me jump up. Same way. Let me wind up. Same way. Party non-stop. Same way. Ramage dingo lekelkete, we come to play mass. Every creed and class. Don't let nothing pass. Like a ready TV, all the love inside the way. You got an accent, but we not really different. 99, 1% love to wine, represent all that we want to see. Happiness, prosperity, I for you and you for me. Cause if you touch me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, one nation under the law. So who feel the black? Who feel the black? Who feel the white? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's set till tomorrow night. Who feel the wrong? Who feel the wrong? Who feel the right? Who feel the right? Come and go. And all who feel the too bright. Let me jump up. Same way. Let me wind up. Same way. Party non-stop. Ramage dingo lekelkete, we come to play mass. Every creed and class. Don't let nothing pass. Like a ready TV, all the love inside the way. Uptown and ghetto, feeling the tempo. Soca and Kaiso, it's party they like so. Soon as we land, fun is the plan. We like the jam, like we man bam. Waving we hand inside the band, we inside the band. And if you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love. We are one people under the sun, one nation under the love. So who feel the black? Who feel the white? I don't know. But it's fair till tomorrow.